Hey everybody, it's me, AkashaWolf, and today I decided that I was going to be doing another ghost stories video for you guys because I know I did my other one a little while back and it's getting close to Halloween, so of course we need some ghost stories. So you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, this is only the first time in a while that you've been like putting a video after another video. And I know, I'm so sorry, it's just I've been adulting, I guess you could say, you know, working and stuff like that. I've been really busy, so it's been very hard for me to just put out a bunch of videos, and I've been wanting to put out videos for all the channels I'm helping out with. So this channel, my second channel, and then my boyfriend's channel. I film and edit all of that. So it's a lot of work. But yeah, you guys, I'm so excited, and I hope to be able to put more of my time towards my channels and everything, so I can, you know, give you guys what you want, all the content you want, and yeah, not keep you guys waiting all the time. I'm so sorry. Sorry if in this video I end up seeming like very scattered and stuff. It's just, this story is one that kind of, it's really long. It's a really long story, so it's probably not all going to be in one video. I'll probably have to give you more of it on a separate day. This story, or stories and experiences that I had, was in a place I guess you could call Whisper Ridge. We'll call this one Whisper Ridge, the last one was Desert View Apartments. But this is Whisper Ridge. Cool name, right? But that was the name of the street I actually lived on. We were right in the center of the street, and there was the Nellis Air Force Base, I believe. You saw desert, and then if you looked, you could see the Air Force Base in the distance. But this was like our first actual house, and I was really young when we moved into this place, so some of my memory is a little bit difficult, but I do remember a lot. It's just remembering everything in order is the issue I'm having. And this place was crazy, and it wasn't just me that experienced things. It was a lot of people, and even people who lived in the houses that were, you know, in that whole community. Like, everybody was having experiences. It wasn't just us. So what our little conclusion was is we believe it was like an Indian burial ground, and that wasn't even just something that I came up with, or my mother, or anybody in our family. That was just something everybody believed about it. First moving into that place, it wasn't that big of a deal. We didn't really feel like it was bad in any way. But then once you actually were moved in and you actually got to sit in there and experience that place, it just felt like occupied. It's like wherever you were at, it was occupied. Wherever you were not at, it was occupied. We had like 2 living rooms basically. The living room we used the most was the one closest to the kitchen and the dining room. That was our living room. And then we basically kept the room closest to the front door, which was like our second living room. We basically kept that empty. We had like one table in there that became like my little brother and me, like our play area. And this was also like the place where my younger brother and sister were born at. In the second living room, it was also close to the laundry room that went directly to the garage. And then there was also the stairs in the second living room as well that took you upstairs. And we had 4 bedrooms, and there was 2 bathrooms. There was 1 whole bathroom upstairs. Actually 2 whole bathrooms upstairs, but one of them was in the master bedroom, of course. The master bedroom was crazy. I did not like that room at all. That was where my mother, you know, of course my mother and my father were at. And because we experienced so much stuff in that place, it's gonna sound weird, but everyone usually slept in a room together. And I know that sounds crazy, but everyone did. It was like we were either all in my mother's room, or we were all in the living room downstairs, or all in one of the other bedrooms. There was like a certain point when I tried very hard to sleep in my own bedroom. It was when it actually became just my bedroom, because there was a point when me and my sister Christina were sharing it, my older sister, and Yeah, and then even my brother tried to sleep in his own room as well. It's like, it was weird. We just couldn't keep it consistent. It wasn't just something that we could do all the time because we were experiencing so much. You're probably like, "Ugh, stop talking about everything in the rooms and stuff." I have to, so you can get the image in your head on what's going on. So anyways, it was the master bedroom, and then they had like the bathroom and a walk-in closet. Then next to the master bedroom was supposed to be my brother's bedroom, and then there was my bedroom, and then on the side there was another bedroom, which ended up becoming my brother's bedroom at a separate point because we had uncles and stuff, and whoever ended up moving in and moving out. And then next to that was the other whole bathroom, and that bathroom was directly across from my bedroom. So I did get permission from my mother, you know, ahead of time, you know, sharing stuff that she's experienced and everything like that. This place was crazy. There was just so much that was happening. I know I keep on saying this, but when we experienced the most craziness was whenever my mother was pregnant. Whenever she was pregnant, something would happen. Something dramatic and crazy would happen. There was, it was so bad that my father had actually left to go to California to do some work in California. And my mother absolutely refused to stay in that house by herself without him there. And we actually went over to my grandmother's house and stayed there. Turns out, didn't help because something ended up happening there. But that's a different place and a different story. But what she was experiencing at this house was a woman with red hair. My mother and father would of course be sleeping in the bed together, and she rolled over and saw a woman laying in the bed with them. She wasn't like 100% like, you know, all there. Of course she was like see-through and stuff, but this woman had red hair and she had this smile on her face, and like she, I guess, gave my mother the impression that my father, my stepfather, you know, whoever, was hers, and that she didn't like the fact that my mother was pregnant with his child. And there's like a lot of speculation and stuff like that in my family that he has actually had, you know, bad things put onto him with like not greedy, but jealous women. And we feel that maybe this entity had something to do with that. It came to a point to where my mother was even being suffocated, not in that moment, but later. She ended up getting out of the bed, you know, freaking out, getting ticked off. This woman ended up disappearing. But, you know, of course she gave her a nice little smile before she left. After the whole experience, she called to talk about this to my grandmother. She was telling my mother about this experience, and I was there that day with her. And she was talking on the phone to my grandmother, and there's the bed right in the center, and then there's like space between the bed from both sides, and on that side there's a crib, on that side it's, you know, the baby changer, and my mother was right here. So she was talking on the phone, and then all of a sudden I see my mom move back like this because she saw something over here, and she saw a figure just walk right across and out the window. And I was just blown away. I couldn't believe this was happening. It was freaking crazy. Just a lot of real solid things you would see in that house. There was even a time when I was downstairs and I was just talking to my mother. My mother had this like weird thing with sitting in this particular spot in the kitchen. She could see the TV, and it was just her little zone. And I could, from the kitchen, I could look directly into the second bedroom, and then there was this big figure, big shadow figure of a man. Like, it wasn't even a man. I couldn't even pick up just like a gender on this thing, but it was huge. And it was like almost like that picture that you see of Bigfoot. It looked like that one like fuzzy picture that's really old that is like Bigfoot. He looked like that, and he was just walking from the living room into the upstairs, and I was just like, oh my god, this is crazy. I can't believe I saw that. Like, my mother even saw my reaction because I was just talking to her, and all of a sudden I was like, because I saw that person walk up and up the stairs. We even had so many times when whatever was there was taking the form of my sister, Christina. And I don't know what it is. It seems like no matter what location, no matter where I am, whenever something wants to take the form of somebody else, it's usually always my sister Christina, which is freaking weird. It's totally her almost every single time. Maybe one other time or two other times I thought it was my younger brother. Not the youngest, but my younger brother. There's just so many things, so much stuff that's happened. It's hard for me to like pinpoint one thing. But anyways, there was even a time when I was in my bedroom sleeping, and my sister Christina was getting ready for school, and she came out of the bathroom and was going to go into the bedroom. Before she was going in, she saw the doorknob shake right before her eyes. And she of course opened it and thought it was me, but I was actually sleeping on the bed. So there was no possible way, and I can tell you now, I didn't shake that doorknob. On a separate occasion, when I was actually at school, my mother walked into my bedroom, and she didn't, get through the threshold before she saw a skinny, tiny woman sitting right in my bed. And it just freaked her out. Then there was this other occasion when my whole family was sleeping downstairs in the living room. It just felt extra dark that day. Like, everything felt so heavy. There was just so much like brewing at that time. I think we were having a lot of crazy experiences during this period, and I just didn't feel good about stuff. And I was, going to sleep, and for some reason I woke up. I was clearly awake. I wasn't experiencing sleep paralysis. I wasn't being suffocated, nothing. I was awake. Just something woke me up. And when I woke up, I could feel that it was really heavy, and then all of a sudden I hear like a smash. And what that smash was, we had a foosball table, and we had it leaning up against the wall, because you can take the top piece off and then play another game and whatever, and it was still leaning against the wall. It sounded like someone pulled on the foosball table, like the little stick, and smashed it in. And I was like freaking out. And it was like something knew I was awake. It's like it was doing this on purpose. And then I hear just like speed walking up the stairs. Oh my gosh, just thinking about it and talking about it right now just makes me like sick, kind of. At this time I was really scared of things because I was seeing a lot. I was really young, so things were a lot clearer, a lot was happening. And yeah, that's all I could really say about that. Just things were a lot more intense and scary to me because I was so young. But I heard like quick running up the stairs. No one was awake. All my family members I could see laying around me. I knew everyone was sleeping. There was no way it could have been of any of them, unless someone broke in the house, but then we would have found evidence of that the next day. And then after the running up the stairs, I heard what sounded like a giant container. My mom had a lot of big containers that she would put stuff in, and it sounded like something went upstairs, picked up the container, and smashed it on top of the other container. And it was just freaking crazy. Then all of a sudden, bam, I felt someone right next to me, and I knew it was someone right next to me, and I just closed my eyes because I didn't want to see it. I could kind of sense that it was somebody. Like, I can sense like their features, but I didn't want to see them because I would probably just be traumatized. And this, like, whoever it was, they knew. They were like just sitting right there, like, because I was on the couch, and then they were just right there, like, going like this basically, and they started playing with my hair. So I thought it was my fan at first, but I remember that the fan wasn't on, and I didn't feel the breeze of a fan. And they were just touching my hair, and it was like they were purposely making it rub my face so that I would like go like that. But I was so scared. I wasn't gonna move. I felt like if I moved, I was dead, That's like a fear you get when you're a child. It was just too much, and I was sweating actually because I was so scared and so nervous. But yeah, it's really hard for me to like think of everything that happened, but I'm trying to not make this video too long. Another incident that happened that I actually didn't get to experience, which is kind of a really good thing, My younger brother actually experienced this. He was dragged out of the bed. He was just pulled right out of the bed, and it was trying to take him over and throw him over the stairs. And my mother and father like flipped out about all of that, to the point they'd even like have him go to school the next day. They just took him, like my father took him to work with him so that he wouldn't have to be in the house and he wouldn't have to be at school, because it was traumatizing to him. There was this time when we brought in this big wooden bed. Like, the frame was all wood and it was huge, and it just seemed like whatever was there was attracted to that thing. I think I'll probably tell that one in another story, or another section of this story, but anyways, some of the things that I experienced with other individuals who didn't, you know, live in that house with me or anything. I had one of my best friends, she would come over and visit a lot. There was a point, like, she started telling me that she felt like there was something wrong with the house, that there was something in the house, which she lived down the street and she would experience things in her house. But again, another time and story for that. So my mother asked us to go upstairs to get something out of her bedroom, and we ran up the stairs together, no problem. Usually when I go up the stairs to get something from my mother, I run, because I feel like if I don't run, then whatever's up there is going to get me. And me and her were running up there out of fun. Like, we felt safe because we were together. And as soon as we swung open my mom's door, we both stopped. It was like we hit a wall. We stopped at the exact same time. And in that moment, we were just staring into the room, and it was as if there was a man sitting in the corner. You couldn't see him, but you could feel that he was there. And me and her looked at each other at the same time. Then we ran. We ran out of there and went downstairs and told them all we couldn't get it because we swear there was a man sitting in the room. We ended up later going up there together and whatnot. But I talked to her about it and asked her, like, why'd you stop? Because I stopped too, and I just wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy. And she said that she felt like there was someone sitting in the corner watching us, and she just couldn't go in. And I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not crazy. So, thank you. On this other occasion, I was with another friend, and she was coming over and visiting and staying the night for very first time ever. But we were just having a good old time and stuff. We were even dabbling in witchcraft at that point. You know, I told her about it and everything, but at this time I didn't really do any type of like spells. I was just still learning a lot. But she told me about a spell and we ended up doing it. But regardless, back to the story. We were getting ready to go to the garage. I forget why we needed to go to the garage, but we of course have to go through the laundry room to get into the garage. I opened the door to get into the garage and I stopped for some reason. And it's weird because she was behind me and stopped, and she was looking like intensely into the garage, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not the only one feeling this. And then all of a sudden I hear, hurry, right in my ear. And she heard it too, because she started running before I got to run after I heard it. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. It was hilarious to me, but it was scary in the moment. But she heard it too, and that's why she ran. So, I'm going to tell you one last thing before, you know, I stop and whatnot. I was in the second living room with my little brother, Lucas. He was just born. He was brand spanking new little baby. And I was sitting there and I was changing his diaper. And I saw my sister, saw the back of my sister walking into the laundry room. And I was like, oh, Christina, you need to check out Theo's new car, because my uncle had just gotten a new car and he was keeping it in that garage. It was a really nice car. I told her, I'm like, you need to check out his new car. And she was solid. It was my sister, the back of my sister. I didn't see the face, but I saw the back and I knew it was my sister, and she was walking into the laundry room, into the garage. And I didn't think anything of it until I heard my sister's voice upstairs. I freaking lost it. I was like, no way. So instead of checking upstairs where the voice was, I checked the garage because I was so certain that was my sister. There was no one there. There was no one in there. So then I freaked out, and of course I yelled to my sister, and she responded from upstairs. So I'm like, that's my sister. Whoever ran in there was not my sister, but looked just like her. But yeah, you guys, I think that's enough for today. It was probably really long, but I will give you more stories on that place, and I will even give you stories on people who have lived in the other houses there. But yeah, you guys, I hope you liked that video. Let me know if you want to get more ghost stories for Halloween. And these are true stories. This is stuff that I experienced, so I'm not giving you any crap or anything. But yeah, so you guys, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe so that you can be a part of the wolf pack. Leave me any questions. Tell us any of your stories down below. And I've watched a couple of you guys actually make your own videos talking about your stories. So if you guys end up doing that, please share those videos on my Facebook page so that way everyone in the wolf pack gets to see it and I'll get to watch it, and I will for sure leave you a comment letting you know that I watched it. So you guys, talk to you guys later. Goodbye and blessed be.